Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 173. We're going to get to the purpose of this whole podcast, the purpose of the Gospel of John. You got to love the author John. As a writer, he begins with the end in mind, and then at the end, he reminds us of what he's been saying from the beginning. So he writes with a purpose, and that's to change the world, specifically your world, my world. So listen in here. This is the last paragraph of the second to last chapter of the Gospel of John, John chapter 20, verse 30. Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. So the entire Gospel of John can be summarized in one single word, and that is belief. All right, so let's talk about what that means. What is belief? Well, it's you agreeing that it's true, thinking that it's true, and then acting as if it is permanent, and it's sort of commitment to it, trusting in it, putting your confidence in it, in your spirit, relying on it, entrusting on it mentally and in your soul, and then acting on it and proving it to be strong over time. So we just criticized Thomas, the doubting Thomas, for his durable unbelief. And John is calling us kind of the opposite of Thomas. Don't be like Thomas. He's calling us to durable, strong, and resilient belief. So this belief is something that you can put your weight on. And so for the present and also for a whole lifetime. All right, so why believe? Well, John mentions the signs, the wonders, the miracles. Curiously, he only records 8 miracles in the gospel. The other gospels, if you kind of add them all up, depending on how you count them, there may be as many as 38 other miracles. So why not other ones, 38 total. So why not include them all? Well, I think because if you don't believe after the first miracle or the second or maybe the 6th, you probably aren't going to be moved off your position with the 27th. So John's account is not primarily a historical book, though the history that he does records is very detailed and very accurate. But that's not the purpose. It's not a diary of daily events. It's ultimately a call to believe and a challenge to believe, which is where we are here today. So the point is, the miracles that he does give you, sit in them. They're either historic or they're made up. If they're historic, then a response is required. Okay, so when to believe? We just heard the great story of kind of what in my mind is the 9th miracle of Jesus in the Gospel of John, which is the saving of the thief on the cross who sneaks in at the last second. So Jesus blesses the thief on the cross for a short period of time. Maybe it was an hour or 2, or maybe as many as 4 or so hours. So he was a believer for only just a short period of time, a couple hours of his life. Now, he gets this great promise. Today, you're going to be with me. You're going to be with me in paradise. And so he gets to live with that promise, for a few hours while he died. So here's the teaching point. If you're an unbeliever on your deathbed, well, great. Today, believe and sneak into the kingdom, and nothing would please the Lord more. But I was thinking about an 8-year-old here today. If you're an 8-year-old child, my encouragement would be believe today. Why? Well, you might have 80 more years with him. Eternal life and paradise is defined for the thief it's with me. You will be with me in paradise. So at least part of the paradise part about it, what's heaven like? Well, you're going to be with the Lord. And if you become a believer at 8 years old, you get to be with the Lord for 80 years of your life. Paradise is with me. Elsewhere, John 10:10, abundant life equals with me. There's a reason this podcast is called Be With Me. It's a joke, be with me, Michael, but be with me, the Lord, is really the whole point. So ultimately, he alone is your great reward. He is your prize. A relationship with him is the treasure. And wouldn't you want to have the riches, the wisdom, the protection, the association with his people, the family of God, the joy of discovery for 80 years rather than 80 minutes? So how long would you like this abundant life? The answer is as long as possible. So having life in his name now and also then in relationship to him. All right, so let's talk about how to believe. Well, one of my favorite verses in the whole Bible, my salvation verse, John 1:12, to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. So I was thinking this morning about children. So a child, usually around 2 years old, something happens, a little light bulb goes on in their coordination. And if you bend down and you gently toss a ball to a child, for 2 years, the ball will bounce off his forehead and onto the ground, then he has to pick it up. But then on a magic day, in a single charmed moment, at least for the adults in the room, you toss the ball to the child and he catches it. And he grabs a hold of what is thrown in him and he receives it for himself. And similarly, what I'm asking you today is stop having the spiritual truth bounce off your forehead. This may be your wake-up moment, your action moment. He's done his work. He's been calling, he's been helping, he's been assisting, he's been moving great spiritual impediments out of the way that makes it impossible without his help. And then Jesus, he bows down on one knee and he gets on your level and he gently tosses you the ball for the millionth time. And here's what John is asking you to do. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Here's what Jesus is asking you to do. Reach out and catch it. Grab a hold of it. Remember the women at the tomb, they're running back and Jesus sees them, and what do? They fall down and they hold on. Similarly, perhaps today is the day when you get it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Grab a hold to what you know. Agree that it's true and don't let go. Let the permanence of your commitment start today. Put your confidence in him and then prove it over this hour and then this day and then this year. Catch it. Make it durable belief. Catch the ball. Hold on. Believe. Thanks for listening.